If you've ever wanted to learn how to solo on the ukulele, this is a video for you. I'm going to give you 5 soloing techniques that are going to change the way you approach soloing on the ukulele. All right, just like that, if you want to learn how to do any of that stuff, this video is a must for you. But first, thanks for being here. I'm Terry Carter, and this is ukelikethepros. What a fun video this is going to be for you. You're going to learn so much in this. And if you're into this, like you want to get better at soloing, and I have a brand new course for you. The Beginning Soloing course for ukulele is going to cover everything you need to know to become a great soloist. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, kind of a segue here. If you're new to the channel, we're going to do ukulele tutorials, reviews, challenges, giveaways, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you're not going to want to miss a single video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on that bell notification. All right, so soloing is something, it's like a mystery. Like people, they see people do it and it seems so easy, right? It seems so easy to do it. And then when you try to solo, it's like, it's not easy. It's hard. Is that you? Leave a comment below if you're feeling what I'm talking about here. All right, so in this one, I'm going to give you 5 techniques that you can use for your soloing to just make them sound better, make them sound a little bit cooler, and each one will get progressively harder as we go through the list of 5. Yeah, shall we? Let's just dive right in. The first thing here, and if you can just even get this one down, it's going to really change the way your solos sound. I'm using the major pentatonic scale for this one. And then sometimes I might do this variation of it. But they're both the major pentatonic. And by the way, this scale right here is one of the most important scales that we go over in that beginning soloing course over at ukelikethepros.com. All right, so first technique here is vibrato. Vibrato. And all vibrato is this. It's where you're taking a note, and instead of just playing it, I'm right here on the 2nd string, 5th fret with my 3rd finger. By the way, go ahead, do this with me. Instead of just playing it like this, I'm doing this. Just adding a little vibrato. And the way that they told me about it, by the way, everyone has a different vibrato. So if you listen to the greats, I mean, ukulele, yes, but it's like, especially if you get into the guitar world, blues world, all that kind of stuff, they all have a different vibrato and it helps distinguish who they are. But the way that someone explained it to me, and this might help you at least get started to find your own vibrato, whether you like a big, notice I'm really bending it a lot, or a little tight vibrato, or fast or slow, it doesn't matter. This will help you. So if you just think of your string here, level, and you're just literally shaking or bending, slight little bends, the string up and down along that horizontal axis. So I'm taking a note and I'm literally just bending up and down. Now, a couple techniques here. I'm using my thumb a little higher on the neck to support. I also have my 2nd and 1st fingers behind this one. So when I do this, oops, there it is. There it is. There it is. I have a little bit of support for that, and that's it. Just practice that. And yes, you can do vibrato with all your fingers. It's just easy with the 3rd finger, especially if you have some support behind it. But you can do it on the 2nd finger and the 1st finger as well, and even the pinky as well. So anyway, that's number 1. This could be a game changer for you. Learn vibrato. All right, number 2 is slides. This is really another great technique, and actually not that hard. Remember, these are each going to get a little bit harder. So you had the vibrato, the first one. The next one here is slide. And let me just show you what I'm doing here. Just take your 1st finger here, put it on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and I'm literally just going to go. I'm going to hit it here on the 3rd fret, and I'm just going to literally slide up to the 3rd fret. I'm going to keep my finger down, so you hear the slide action, and I only pick it one time. So I'm only picking it here on the 3rd, and I'm sliding up. Okay, that's it. Now, it's harder than it seems, especially if you're just starting, okay? If you're just starting. What's hard about it is you might slide to the wrong fret. You might go too slow. The note might die by the time you get there. So it's still light. You got to keep it real light here with your hand that's sliding, and you just want it real crisp and clean. You can go to the 2nd string and do the same thing. You can go to the third string, do it, but I'm going to be on strings, frets 2 and 4. Yeah, and you can go backwards on your slides too. Right there. Now you add a little slide and vibrato, and you got money. All right, so that's number 2, the slide. How you doing so far on the vibrato and the slide? Leave a comment below on that. I appreciate you being here and smashing that like button as well, especially if you're digging what we're doing here. Number 3 here is hammer-on. And like I said, these are getting progressively a little bit harder. I want to stay up here on the first string here, and I want to use my first and my third finger here. And again, this is the major pentatonic scale that we're learning. We do go over all this stuff. So if it's moving too fast, you don't understand, just get the techniques down, but check out that beginning soloing course. That's really going to unlock a lot of answers for you. All right, start here. First finger on the first string, 3rd fret, and I'm going to hit that note again, and I'm going to hammer on, meaning I'm just going to literally take that 3rd finger, I'm going to hammer on. You're going to have to do it kind of hard to get that sound. Now, I don't pick it again. I just pick it one time here, and then I hammer on. Now, what's going to happen with you if you're just starting out is, one, you're going to hit it too soft, and you're going to kill the note, right? That's a real con because you don't realize how much pressure you have to do when you do the hammer-on. You want the note that you're hammering onto to be roughly about the same volume as the first note. Okay. You can do that on the 2nd string as well. You can do it on the 3rd string as well. And then once you get it down, you can do you could do it when you're starting to solo. Are you ready for number 4? Thanks for being here and thanks for subscribing to the channel. Number 4 is the opposite of a hammer-on, and we call that a pull-off. And when you do it, oh, actually, let me just play it for you real quick. There you go, just the last one's there. You're just gonna start here, I'm back on the 1st string. I'm gonna have my 3rd finger already down on the 1st string, 5th fret, and I'm already gonna have my 1st finger down on the 3rd fret. And I'm just gonna hit that note one time, and I'm gonna pull off. That 2nd note should be as loud as the 1st note. Maybe it's a little quieter, but roughly, okay? Now, the way you do the pull-off is different than hammer-on. You're gonna actually take this note, and you're gonna you gotta have a lot of pressure. You're almost gonna pull it down and let it snap off your 3rd finger to get that sound. Again, this is a hard technique if it's new to you. The biggest problem people do is they don't snap it off their fingers. They try to do this. It's not just that, you gotta dig in and pull it off your finger. And then once you get it, you can practice on the other strings. 2nd string. You can even do it on a 3rd string, which is a little harder because the string is really thick, but it works as well. All right, I'm gonna put them all together at the end, but we do have one more we gotta dive into. The 5th technique we're gonna go over, by the way, do you notice what I'm playing? I'm playing my Aloha Mango tenor. I have a low G, although it doesn't matter because we're not even using a low G. What are you playing? Leave in the comments below. And if you dig this Aloha, I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. Check out my #1 store online. That's store.ukelikethepros.com. All right, number 5 now. This is the hardest of all of them. Well, actually, go back. There is one other technique. It's basically the same as what we did for number 3 and 4, which is a hammer-on and the pull-off all combined into one. So you do actually do the hammer-on and pull-off at the same time. So technically that could be number 5, but I got something else I want to show you. But that's kind of cool as well, where you just, again, only pick it one time, hammer on and pull off, all with one thing. And then you can do something like this. Do something like that. Rock star status with the hand up. All right, but that's not number 5. Number 5 is bends. All right, these are not vibrato. Bends are actually bends. So I'm going to go back here to the 1st string, 5th fret. I'm going to have my 3rd finger down already. And I'm also going to have my 2nd and my 1st already down for support. And when I bend, I'm literally going to push up. And I notice my thumb is kind of wrapping around the neck a little bit. And I got to do a lot of pressure and then vibrato as well. Again, at the end of this, I'm going to play a solo. I'm going to incorporate all these techniques for you, but hey, just practice this bend right here. Most bends always go up, okay? Most bends, okay? But it doesn't matter if you're on the first string, the second string. Now, when you get to the kind of the third string, you might need to come down a little bit, especially on the fourth string. You might need to go down, but most bends happen on the first and the second strings. All right, now when you're bending, you can just bend, right? You can just bend. You can just bend, but usually what you're doing is you're just bending. You're taking that note up to the next fret. So for example, if I'm bending here on the 5th fret, if I do a half step bend, I'm making a sound like this fret. That's called a half bend. If I take it up and I want it to sound like the 7th fret, oh my goodness. Well, that's a hard bend. That's a lot of bend. That's called a whole step bend. But for our purposes now, just work on just kind of getting that bend going, but just so I want you to know the difference between a half step and a whole step bend. Those were the 5 techniques to help you become a great soloist. How did you do on those? Leave a comment below. I'm going to solo. By the way, we're going to review all 5 of them, but I'm going to solo real quick. I'm going to show you all 5 of these different techniques, show you how you can apply them to a solo using that same scale, the C major pentatonic. Now just improvising on that, but that kind of stuff is what I'm going to show you in that beginning soloing course over at ukelikethepros.com. So if you're digging this stuff, you have to check out that course. I'm going to show you the scales. I'm going to show you the licks. And I'm going to help you create and write your own solos as well. All right, let's recap the 5 techniques that are going to help you become a great soloist. Number 1 is vibrato. Number 2 is a slide. Number 3 is the hammeron. Number 4 is a pull-off. And number 5 is a bend. All right, those are not necessarily easy, but you'll progress, you'll get better at them. So that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate the comments, smashing that like button, and subscribing to the channel. And once again, if you're digging this, if this is what you want to do, check out the beginning soloing course. ukelikethepros.com is absolutely going to unlock the mysteries of soloing. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.